Hello, sweet tooths. Today we're making a cake you all love, and the best part is, no oven needed. It turns out powerful, refreshing, and delicious. And on top of that, it's made with cookies. First, crush or grind the cookies. Use any you like. I use 200 grams or 1 package of Maria type cookies. And using one of these machines, you give it a go, and in a second, you have cookie powder. You put this into a large bowl and add butter, which should already be warm so that it's liquid. Even better, about 65 grams or 1/3 of a cup. Add and mix. Add until you have a manageable texture, one that you can compact a little. If you don't get it right the first time, depending on the type of cookie, you might need a splash of milk. So keep it handy, just in case. In your case, it's necessary. That varies a lot depending on the type of cookie. Well, once you do this, and when you press it, it keeps its shape. That means the texture is perfect. So you can go ahead and use the mold. In my case, it's 20 grams square shaped and removable. You can use whatever you have or prefer, circular, elongated, it's your choice. What I can tell you is that it's really good to press the cookie down well, especially with the back of a glass, so it comes out nice and flat. The filling is super easy. You take 2.5 cups or 500 milliliters of heavy cream or whipping cream, nice and cold, and start whipping it up. After a little while, when you notice the texture starting to get a bit thicker, you add a cup of powdered sugar or confectioner's sugar, and you keep going, stirring it, and beat it again until it starts to come together. What we've always called whipped cream here, meaning it forms ridges. When you see them, stop, don't keep beating or it may curdle. Alternatively, use 3 cups, 600 grams, or 2 large packs of cream cheese or spreadable cheese. You're also going to add today's magic, which is cookie cream, 250 grams, or 1 1/4 cups. You can see it's sticky. Many brands work. I'm using a generic one, but Lotus is fine too. It turns out fantastic. The key is to mix everything really well until you get a nice, even texture like this. And you mix that with this fantastic sweetened whipped cream. When you mix it all together again, you'll get a smooth, cookie-flavored cream that's truly delicious. Look how good that looks. All you have to do now is put this filling into the mold with the cookie base and flatten or smooth it out a bit so it looks nice. So everything goes in, we spread it out with the same spatula I'm using or the back of a spoon, and then we adjust it. For now, I like to add a little more of the cookie cream, which I heat up a bit so it's liquid. But you could add chocolate, dulce de leche, leave it as is, just sprinkle some cookie crumbs, whatever you want. I add this, then I make some swirls with a toothpick and look, it turns out really fun. With very little effort, I put it in the fridge or refrigerator for at least 2 hours and dessert is ready. Although it's true that these are the kind of desserts that turn out great if you leave them overnight. That way, you're not in a hurry. The day to enjoy, then all you have to do is take it out of here. Remove the ring or the side of the mold. Smooth it out so the finish looks nice and give it the final decorative touches. I always like to serve the portions like this, so I run a small knife through to make individual shapes. A little bit of crushed cookie on top to give it that crunchy texture. And enjoy an oven-free creamy cookie cake that's delicious. Look, look, look. Look, look, look. Look at that amazing piece. So creamy, so creamy. You just have to cut it into portions and start enjoying. An ideal dessert that, served like this, straight from the fridge, is even more tempting. Look, look, look at that cream. Oh my, 1 spoonful after another. You just can't stop. I love it. I hope you try it because I'm sure. And you'll really enjoy it. And you're going to leave the whole family speechless.